This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Zinger model 340MB. Okay, so let's go to the rear here. Okay, so you have power stabilizers. You have one switch operates both rear jacks. The front switch operates both front. Obviously, you never lift the trailer with them. You're just going to take the movement out of it. Now, let me look at the other side here. So this type, if I'm on the off-door side here, looking at the other side of the stabilizer jack assembly, and you can see there's a shaft with like a pin through it. Well, this can be cranked manually if you need to. So if you had a problem with it, they got it damaged or malfunctioned in some way, you can always crank them up and down manually to get yourself out of trouble, which is a good thing. Also, let me look under here. Yes. So you can't really see it right here because there's a long way through that hole there. But if you were to follow that hole all the way to the frame, you'll see that there's a shaft with a pin going through it, and the same crank will actually crank the slide room on the other side. This one would crank, this hole would crank the off-door side slide, so you can actually crank that manually too. It takes about 1,000 cranks, but it's, you know, it'll get you out of trouble. And while I'm looking here, all right, so on this side you can crank the other one, so both slide outs can be operated manually if you need to, and so does the power stabilizer jacks. Okay, I hope I got that out right. All right, so you have two awnings, power awnings with LED strips, of course. Never leave them out unattended. Your steps fold into the trailer, obviously, and they're very sturdy. Keep in mind you can adjust the length of the legs by pulling this pin. There's one on each leg, and you can adjust your legs to the terrain you're on, which is good. That right there, or those right there, are your low point drains for when you winterize and de-winterize. Okay. You have a TV signal out right here and power, so you could put a TV out here. Got outside speakers. All right. Obviously, this is your front stabilizer switch and switch. Now, this is the crank that you would use to get your stabilizers and your slide rooms in and out. This one right here will work on the power tongue jack. So if you come over here, the power tongue jack, you can, if it happens to fail, you can unscrew this cap, put the crank on there and crank it manually too, so you can always get hitched and unhitched. So that's a good thing. Way down there is your dump hose, and then you could probably just see the 30 to 15/20 amp adapter if you want to adapt it down to plug it in at home or something. Okay, all right, so you have two LP tanks full with an automatic changeover regulator. You've got a deep cycle marine battery, and this is a kill switch for the battery. You can turn it on and off there, so when you put it into storage, it won't draw down as fast. But if you're not in storage, always keep it on, because your tow vehicle is going to charge the battery, and when you're plugged in, your power converter will charge it. So you always want it on when you're not in storage. Okay, it's easy for me to say. Okay, so you have a outside sprayer to spray down kids and dogs and feet and bicycles or whatever you have. This is a black tank flush here, so let me go through it this way here. This is your city water hookup right here. This is the most common way to get water to your trailer. You're just going to hook the hose on there at the campground, turn it on, and you're ready to go. Now, if you happen to be camping at a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. You'll fill it and then use the onboard pump to pump the water, so you can use all the plumbing just like you have city water, even if you don't. Now, after you've dumped your tanks, you have right here, you have your black tank valve. The black tank is toilet water and waste, of course. And then you got your gray tank, which is sink and shower water. You have a second gray tank over here. Okay? So 2 gray tanks. One might be called a galley tank on the panel, but it's still a gray tank. So anyway, you'll dump the black tank first, and then the gray. Use the gray water to flush out the black water because it's obviously dirtier, skankier water. So you do that first. Then you leave your black tank valve open, and you can come over here and hook the hose at the dump station right on there, turn it on, and you can spray the inside of the black tank out, clean off the sensors, just clean it out generally speaking. So it's a good thing to do. It really makes a big difference. Okay, so this is the outside of your water heater. This works on both gas and electric. The switches are inside. But I need to show you that this is the drain cap here to drain the water heater. That takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket. So you figure you want the 6-point socket, and you may need a short extension too, so you can clear everything. But it's good to have with you. Okay. Alrighty. So I'll show you the switches when we get inside. All right, where are we at here? Okay, so this up here is the vent for your range hood. Now this has a baffle on it, and it has these little tabs here at each side, so you can turn the tab so this baffle flaps freely inside. You always want to have it flapping freely when you're venting using the fan in the range hood. So if you're venting to the outside, you want those tabs open so the baffle flaps freely, but if not, you keep it shut when you're traveling down the road and in storage, that sort of thing. All right. You have a 50 amp cord, 30 feet long, so you can see we give you a reducer to reduce it down to a 30, and then I showed you up in the pass-through compartment you have one to reduce it down even more. So this has got a 50 amp system because I'm sure it's pre-wired for a second air conditioner. We'll know when we get inside, but I'm sure it is. Okay, these are just cable and satellite through. All right. You have this housing, which tells us this is pre-wired for a backup camera, if you're interested in that. Also, while we're looking up, you need to, according to the manufacturer, you need to inspect the roof every 90 days. So you want to go up there or have someone else go up there every 90 days, check out all the sealant, look if it's cracking or separation, check the vent covers to make sure they weren't damaged by a low branch or road debris flipping up there. Just give it a good inspection, and if you see anything, get it taken care of immediately. That's important. That's not just this trailer, it's every trailer ever made needs to be inspected. So okay, so let's go inside here. Okay, so let me swing around here. This is your power converter right here. This converts AC to DC power. So you see you got regular circuit breakers like you'd see at home right here. And they're all labeled. That's 120 AC. Then it converts the power to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. Okay, and if these fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see them through this tinted plastic here. All right, and also this is a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged in, it's going to sense how much energy your battery needs up front, and always keep it charged up. All right, so it's kind of tight squeeze here. I want to get the whole thing in here. So, all right, these are your 2 slide rooms, right here. These are your 2 awnings. Like I said, never leave the awnings out unattended. You got lights here. Your water pump I told you about is right there. That's for pumping water out of the fresh water tank, or you also use it to winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas is right here. To light it on electric is right there. Never run it without water in the tank. Always make sure you got water in the tank before you turn it on. Also your levels, battery, fresh water, black is empty, gray 1 is empty, gray 2 is empty. As it fills, it goes up in 1/3 increments, of course. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray and black tanks. Okay. All right. The thermostat is analog. It's basic. I mean, you want to have it over here on auto for the fan, and then of course heat, fan. The fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air, and you go one more click over, and that's the actual air conditioner. Okay. Also, while we're here, this device down here is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be green. If it goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off and figure out what's going on. Also, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So I'm going to put it through a self-test now. You can hear it test for LP first, then for carbon monoxide, then it'll alert the low battery alert. Whoops. There we go. That was LP, carbon monoxide coming up. And then LP, or I mean low battery, I'm sorry. And back to green. Okay, if it's not green, get it serviced. It's very important, of course. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator. It works on oh no, this one is just a, I'm sorry, this one is a 12-volt DC refrigerator, okay? Which is a good thing in the sense because they're a lot deeper. You have more cubic feet in it, because if you have the gas absorption, you lose about 1/3 of the space at the back of it with the cooling unit. So here you have plenty of storage space that runs on 12 volts. So when you're pulling it down the road, it's going to run off your battery, and your battery is going to be charged by your alternator, of course. And then when you're plugged into the campsite, I talked about the power converter over here. The power converter will be sending 12 volts to it to keep it going when you're plugged in. Now you've got 3 stools. Now these stools will store. There's hinges here, and you can store them underneath this couch here. That's where I found them when I started prepping it. So this, let me see what we have here. This is a Jackknife Couch, so a Jackknife's flat. You could turn it into a bed. You got your 3 remotes here. One for your Fireplace, one for the sound, and the other one for your TV. We'll go through the Fireplace here. This is the remote for it right here. Okay, so it's flashing H, which is high. That's the fan speed. So that's off, low, high, and off. That's the fan speed. You also can change the appearance of the fire like that. You got thermostat. It goes up in 5-degree, up and down in 5-degree increments, right? And there's a timer on here also, so you can set it to turn on if you wanted to. You could set it to turn on 20 minutes before you get up in the morning to take the chill out. It runs on AC power, so you're not using your limited supply of LP that's stored in your front tanks, obviously. So you can use this to supplement it, and you're not using up your LP. So it's a good thing. All right. The sound here, it has 2 speaker zones, A and B. A is inside the trailer, B is outside. You have a USB, you can stream off of it. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly with your phone or tablet. So it does all those things, and also it has an FM radio built into it. And then your TV, of course, it's wired through your TV and all that, so you can use that together if you wanted to stream like video or something like that. So here we have a swing out bracket and some storage back there. Okay. 2 theater seats. Your table, you can pull off the table and the base, and you can set the tabletop on these cleats here and use the cushions to fill the space, and that's another bed. So you got two places to sleep up here. Then you have this center room here. This tabletop drops down, obviously, and you can turn this into a bed if you need to. And then, of course, this top bed drops down, folds down, and sits on these cleats here. And you got another bunk there. So, plus you got hookups for a TV here, signal and power, and there's a backer plate back here. So you have that. Very nice, actually, to have that spare room in there. Of course, then the bathroom works like any other RV bathroom. So this is a GFCI here, obviously, so keep in mind that all the plugs, even the one on the outside, are wired through the GFCI. You have a sink. and a shower that work like any other sink and shower. Let me make sure it's in good shape here. Yes. So you have it. Always run the fan with the shower to pull the humidity out, so you don't create a climate where it could promote mold or mildew, that sort of thing. So always vent it. And the thing to know about RV toilets, if you don't already know, is you can't use them dry. This is the flush pedal here. By dry, we're talking about the black tank, which is directly below. So we're not hooked up any water right now, but directly below there is the black tank. So that can't be dry. If it is, if you use it dry, the smell is going to be overwhelming, and you'll only do it once. And it also can get clogged up. But when you pull into the campground, you'll hook up your power and your water. Then you'll come in here and you'll dump 1 dose of toilet chemical right in the bowl, whichever brand you use. Then you'll step on the pedal, water will come swirling around and wash everything in there. And you stand on it till you put about a gallon of water in it. There's nothing to tell it, no way to tell exactly what a gallon is. But just use common sense. Some people use more than a gallon even, but it's your preference. But you have to have water and chemical in it when you start using it. Also, your bed folds up and there's some storage underneath it. And also, the last thing we're going to go through here is, first of all, you got a backer plate and hookups for your TV in there. And this is your emergency window, so you'll push it all the way through, and then grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can exit that way. Okay? And that should about do it. So, let me see here. First thing I want to do is I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And please remember what I said about inspecting your roof and the seals. That's very important if you own a trailer, so make sure you take care of that. And of course, it also has to be winterized in the late fall or early winter. So, okay, thank you very much.